Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Marquella. Just a quick introduction. I am a mom, wife, photographer, and now personal blogger. As you all know, I'm here to share my journey having VSG. That's weight loss surgery, just a vertical sleeve, gastrectomy. So I'm just here to share just a little bit about it, why I started this or why I chose to do it, my journey now, and how I feel after the surgery. So let's talk about why I chose weight loss surgery. I'm in my mid-30s. I have struggled with weight loss for so many years. I recently gained more weight than where I was at the time, and I made a choice to do something about it. And so I started this journey about 2 years ago to work out, do the meal plan. I had a trainer, and I was losing weight. It was, in my mind, it was slow. I know everyone's progress is different, and everybody doesn't, lose weight the same way. Sometimes you lose inches before you actually lose the pounds. And so I experienced both those things, and I was happy with the progress. But then I noticed, 4 months into it, that I was having issues where I was bloating, or it was just stable. Like I wasn't really losing much, the pounds. And of course, everyone else around me was like, oh, I don't notice anything. They noticed that I was looking different. But for me, I noticed, and we always know our bodies. And that's when I took the opportunity to really try to figure out what was going on. Long story short, I found out that I have PCOS. There was some things that were going on with me that, all roads led up to PCOS, but, I can just say I didn't have the right doctors that was really taking some of my issues or symptoms very seriously. I also have ankylosing spondylitis. That is a form of osteoarthritis. When I tell people that, they're like, what? Arthritis. And that just I struggle with this word, but it's a degenerative disease in my spine. So it affects my lower part of my spine and my pelvic area. So a lot of the medications that I take makes it also hard to lose weight. And then if I'm on a steroid, I'm gonna gain weight as well. It also makes it very hard to just exercise because you experience chronic pain and stiffness in your joints. So knee problems, ankle problems, and of course, like I said, I have the problems in my hips and my low back. So all of those things made it really hard to stay on track with the fitness program and just lose the pounds. And then, like I said, the medicines can be counterproductive, and that's what I experienced. And then on top of that, I just found out that I had PCOS. So I was very, heartbroken because I just wasn't where I wanted to be. I had a flare up with my condition, which again could be months on end with chronic pain. For me, I experienced months on end. And I went to my doctor and I just expressed all of my concerns. Actually, a friend of mine had said she has PCOS, and I expressed some of my concerns to her, and she said it sounds like the same thing. And then that's when I went to the doctor. So we did some tests, found out that's what it is, and then my doctor referred me to this weight loss center. And I never had it in my mind to ever, I knew what some of the weight loss surgery options there were, because there's more than one, but I never even considered it for myself. I just felt like that wasn't for me. So what I was really excited about was being able to talk to a nutritionist. And so I set up an appointment, and I did a consultation. They kind of, gave me the rundown of the different options, and they asked me what I would want to do. And I was just like, I don't know. I actually said the lap band, but then after that consultation, I know some people who've actually had the surgery. So I thought like, hey, let me reach out to them and ask them. And immediately they were like, no, don't do the lap band. And they kind of explained to me. Now, that's not against anyone that does the lap band or chooses to do that, just wasn't for me. So I did more research into it. And over time, I just felt like, okay, maybe this might be the best option for me, but I wasn't quite settled on it. And I just said, you know, I'll do all of the steps, because there are steps in order to get the surgery. There are some steps that you have to follow. It's not just, I want to have this surgery, and then, you know, down the line we can schedule it in a few weeks and you're in surgery. No, there are steps that you have to follow. And we'll talk about that in another video if you want to know more about that. But so I did all of those steps. Overall, it took me about 4 months to complete all of my steps. My insurance covered everything, so that wasn't an issue. But just to get everything done in a pandemic was pretty tough. But I managed to get everything done, and I had my surgery October 7th, 2021. So let's talk about the process. Just taking a few steps back, again, the process. You do the consultation. Typically, in order for you to even be able to have or schedule a consultation, most of the time your doctor refer you. So like I said, I didn't even ask my doctor. My doctor obviously knew like that might have been the best solution for me for what I was going through at that time. So she gave me a referral. I scheduled the consultation. And then they kind of tell you about the process. Now, you know, each center can be different, but with mine particularly, I had my consultation, and next thing you know, they told me what was my homework, and that was the steps that followed. So I did all of those. It took 4 months. Like I said, I can go in depth. I don't want to take up too much of our time in this video talking about that, but we could talk about that more. But you know, basically it led up to me doing my steps. It goes back to the center, and then they schedule me. You know, they submit the approval. Once you do everything, they submit the approval, or they submit the forms to your insurance for approval for the surgery. And then once it's done, then you schedule surgery. I will say that I went in wanting to do a lap band, but then after doing research, I've, you know, decided on getting the sleeve procedure. I just want you to know, like, that can happen. Like, you can decide on one thing and then later on realize that you might want to try this. I would just say do your research on that. Ask as many questions. If you have the person that I went out, reached out for help, she added me to a support group. I looked at everyone else's experience, and I kind of gathered my thoughts. And then my husband and we actually went on YouTube as well. So it was very helpful to me to do all of those things. I'm the type of person, I love to research. I cannot make a decision, a big decision like that without knowing all of the facts. So do your research, make sure you know what you're getting into, and make sure it's the best fit for you. Some centers actually require you to do education, like they have videos. Mine did not. So I would suggest that for you. So after the surgery, the surgery was, I think, the longest part, because I don't even know how long it takes. I just rely on my doctor. He said that it takes literally like 30 minutes. I'm assuming it did. I was out of it. But the longest part of it was just the part to getting into, like, you know, you registered that day of, and then you have to like prep and everything. That was the longest part, was prepping and then waiting. That was the most frustrating part. Not that I was in a rush, because I was nervous as hell, but I just did not like that part. And then afterwards, I found out that I was in a lot of pain, but I have a low pain tolerance. And it's not, don't be discouraged by that, because it's not something that's like intolerable. I have a low pain tolerance, so it might be different for people. But what I found out is that I also had a hernia that they repaired. So it was, you know, the sleeve, that procedure, and also them repairing a hernia. So I think, and I always tell people, I think I was in more pain because of that. I was in the hospital for a day. You know, they give you all of the Pepsid and everything, you know, to keep the acids down. They gave me you know what? They did an amazing job with me. I really appreciate that team. I had wonderful nurses. The doctor was, of course, wonderful. So they took care of me. If I said I was in pain, they took care of it right away. I did not have an appetite. You know, they do the, you have the spirometer where they test your breathing, and then they will put you on what they call a liquid test. So they give you a bottle of water, and they give you like a little medicine cup, and then you have to fill this cup up and you drink every 5 to 10 minutes. And if you mess up, like if you don't drink in the next, so like if I drink the first round and within those 5 minutes, but then it comes to the next round and I don't drink, then that's it. And trust me, it's not bad, because you don't really want to drink anything or eat anything, but you know, it's necessary before they send you home. So make sure your doctor should provide you with pain medicine, but make sure that you have everything. I would say everything you need. I'm going to do a video where I will talk about all of the essentials to have before you have the surgery, and some good things that I found after surgery. So if you want to know more about that, just let me know. But I will be sharing that. So, you know, make sure you have your pain pills. Next few days, next few weeks is going to be rough. It took me about 3 weeks to recover. Again, I have other issues, other health issues, so my recovery time might be different. I know some people that will literally just recover 2 days and they'll go back to work. I needed the time that I needed. I also have short-term disability, so that was covered so I could be at home. So I know everyone's situation is different, but I just wanted to just give you an idea. There's going to be so many things running through your mind. You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to look at some parts of your body wondering like what's going on, and it just throws you off, and it messes you up, and it makes you feel like it makes you question yourself, like, did I make the right decision? So I did that for about a month. I will tell you that I forgot to mention, you do fast. I know some people I've heard fast for 2 weeks. Mine was only 5 days, but again, the people that were supporting me, that had the surgery, they were like, do it 7 days. That was the hardest thing. The liquid fast was the hardest thing. And I didn't have, like, I know some people can do like the protein drinks. No, mine was clear liquid and water. I couldn't drink like, you know, apple juice or anything like that. It was just broth and water for 7 days. Oh my God. So I lost 12 pounds prior to my surgery. And then after the surgery, I lost, you know, an additional three pounds because I had the 1 week. And then the pounds just started to go after that. But the liquid diet. The crazy thing is I felt like it was much easier before the surgery. So after the surgery, it was even harder. Again, the phases, you have 4 different phases that you go through, where you're reintroducing food back into your body. Mine were like 2 weeks each. Some people's are less than that. Some people are able to just go into the next phase after a few days. No, I was on that liquid diet for 2 more weeks. So that was a total of 3 weeks. And it was hard because you're not drinking enough fluids as you should be. So keep that in mind. Prepare yourself. Have your stuff on deck. Don't buy a whole bunch of protein drinks because literally, you might not like the taste of it afterwards. Your taste buds do change. You'll have a period where you're feeling weak. That's natural. It's normal. However, I always say everyone's different. So I told my doctor, you know, I called if I didn't feel right. So if you don't feel right, let your doctors know, because that's very important, because it might not be what I went through. It might be something else. So just keep that in mind. But I will say, like, you do kind of feel weak and famished after a while. I had a hard time walking up the stairs, and it didn't come back until about a month and a half later after my surgery. My doctor said, like, you know, that's not something that they commonly have, like, an issue from patients. I don't know why, but yeah, I was struggling there. So that's that. How did I feel afterward? So one of the things I noticed immediately is I have sleep apnea. I noticed immediately after surgery is I was not snoring. My husband, you know, I asked him because I wasn't sure, but he told me, like, no, you're not snoring. So like that was just immediately gone. I'm not saying that my sleep apnea is cured, because Obviously, I need to go back in with my doctor and find out, but I did notice that. I have chronic back pain, so like that went away immediately too. I felt lighter. I had more energy, although it took me a while to like exercise or to do a lot of stuff. I took it easy on myself, but I noticed like I did the treadmill, and usually my back would cramp up really bad and I'll be tired after 10 minutes or close to 10 minutes, before 10 minutes. But I was able to do it for an entire 20 minutes and I was fine. Energy, everything. I use my binder because you're going to be sore. The muscles are sore. So they give you a binder in the hospital, an abdominal binder, but you can buy one on Amazon. I just used the one they gave me from the hospital, and I wore that afterwards because there are still like some tender spots. So that's one of the things that I use to help. I still use it from time to time, you know, because compressions are good, you know, help with to alleviate, you know, to, you know, prevent you from having a lot of extra skin. Extra skin is probably not avoidable, but you know, there are some things you can do to help. And you still like swell or bloat. I did have periods where I was blown and my hormones were completely off after surgery. They still are. Like I have melasma, facial hair is growing more. My hair looks fine, but you know, I was out of whack, hormones and everything. So overall, I'm 3 months out, 3 months post-op. Yay. And I lost a total of 54 pounds and still counting. I did stall around, you know, right before my 2-month mark. I did stall and I was getting a little discouraged, and my doctor was asking questions because she thought like, oh, you must be eating something you're not supposed to be doing. And she was pushing me to say, you know, go exercise more. But I'm deciding for myself, I'm going to move at my own pace. And I knew that I was going to stall at some point because they talk about that. Also, because of the people that I know who had the surgery, they also talked about that. So stalling is common. It happens. I haven't quite found out the best tricks for it. One of the things I did realize is that it does come down to your intake. More water, absolutely, because it's something I still struggle with today. Some days can be great, some days not so great. But more water and making sure that you're eating all of your calories in the day. So it's still a challenge. A lot of people that have had the surgery will tell you that it is a challenge to keep up with the water intake, calories. So it's just in protein, because protein is important too. It's not very easy. I'm sorry, something dropped. So I'm not gonna, you know, hold on. There's so many things that I could share and discuss with you guys. I want to tell you everything, but we're not gonna fit it all in one video, or else we'll be here forever. So this is what you can do. You can like this video. You can subscribe to see new videos. I'm gonna try to keep them coming out every Tuesday as much as possible. But again, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I work a full-time job, and I do other things. So sometimes it might not be every Tuesday, but you know, I like to keep my word. So every Tuesday, just to follow me on my journey. You can also follow me on Instagram. The link is right at the top. And the link is also in my bio. So you can follow me on Instagram to see me beyond, you know, my journey. I'll be sharing not just this journey with weight loss, with my weight loss surgery, but I'll also be talking about, you know, some health and wellness. I'm working out. It's challenging, and I want to be able to share that with people because I want people to know that it doesn't have to look perfect. As long as you're doing it, and consistency is the key. That's the most important part. And also just my journey around my mental health, because that is the reason why I'm here today. And it's still a challenge, but I think that that's very important because, you know, weight loss surgery is not the answer to everything. There are still some things that are challenging, like body dysmorphia. You get depressed, and it's also like this whole shedding process. And I'll share that in another video. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. And I hope to see you guys again. All right, bye.